Hey, what's up guys? Sumo11 here, and welcome to my spoiler review of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. I probably should have reviewed this after I watched it, but I did. So, overall, this is an alright movie. Just another thing that was kind of hyped up. And Dragon Ball Z movies have never been that amazing, though, so I don't know. Even with the creator involved, I really didn't love this movie, and I guess Akira Toriyama saw that Dragon Ball Z is still earning money, like years after the manga and anime. And we had Dragon Ball Z Kai, which was going on for a really long time, at least over a year to finish the final part. The Buu saga. So we have that. And I really feel like the Dragon Ball series will just never die. So it's like, hey, my series has been popular for like how many years? Maybe I'll add something to it. And Dragon Ball is just a very long manga, and it just seems like creators who do long series either do shorter series or have someone else draw their manga after their long series, or once they start to get up there in age. So we had Dragon Ball SD, and we had the Dragon Ball Super manga, which is going on right now. And let's be honest, the Dragon Ball train is never going to stop. So I watched this movie to see how it would compare to the anime, because it's being put into the new Dragon Ball Super anime. And also I just wanted to have a better understanding of the Dragon Ball series, because there are certain things that I don't know. And the problem with this movie is they could literally do this in 3 episodes. That would be rushing it, but that's about how long this movie is, about 3 episodes. And they could do it in 5 to 10 episodes if they really want to drag it out. But there's really not that much to add to this story. There's no super long story arc that can be created out of this. It just seems like Dragon Ball Super is a little bit it's a mix of all the Dragon Ball series, so the original and then Z. So we have a lot of the Dragon Ball comedy and stuff, because there's one episode where Trunks, Vegeta, and Bulma go out shopping, which was funny, but it's that's not something that would happen in Dragon Ball. That's not something that would happen in Dragon Ball Z. It seemed a little bit fillerish, but it was funny nevertheless. And that's kind of why I just have a problem with it being added to the lore of Dragon Ball. It's kind of out there, and it's just a very short movie. I mean, there's not content in there that can just expand, that can be expanded upon. We have the 12 universes, but that can't all be in a movie. I want a plot about Beerus, and we're not going to get that. It seems it's just Beerus going around destroying things and stuff like that. So the movie starts off with this cool part with Krillin going over the major events in Dragon Ball. Major events overall, not everything. And Goku is training with King Kai, and King Kai is talking to the other Kais, and we get some funny scenes between Goku and King Kai. I always love the comedy in Dragon Ball Z, and Goku and King Kai, that's just a great comedy explosion. And basically King Kai is talking about this god of destruction, and Goku overhears him and gets interested in that. And then they have a car ride on King Kai's planet, and it's funny because his planet's so small, and they're just going around in circles. And we have Whis, who is the assistant and trainer of the god of destruction Beerus. He wakes Beerus up from his 39-year-long nap. And Beerus is a cat-like creature who definitely acts like one. He's playful and stuff. He had a dream that he couldn't really recall until the movie. It was going through the movie, and he actually recalled what he was dreaming about. And the dream is basically about a Super Saiyan God, this being known as the Super Saiyan God. And Beerus is being very silly, and sometimes for a fighting series that doesn't always work, especially when you're trying to label someone as a villain. And I don't know, I had a problem with him being so silly. But I mean, Frieza was also silly in certain aspects. I guess Cell was kind of silly. I don't really remember. So for Akira Toriyama to fit this into the storyline, he said that Beerus was the one who made Frieza kill the Saiyans, and it works, but it just doesn't seem like Frieza would listen to anyone. But based on all the backstory information, Beerus is very strong, so I guess anyone would listen to him. And by the way, this movie is 4 years after the events of the Buu saga, but in Dragon Ball Super it's only been a few months. And also it doesn't look right because Trunks and Goten are still young, and Krillin's daughter's young too. There are other things that were problems with the timeline and everything. Like, Bulma's not supposed to be 38, she's supposed to be older than that. So that would mean that Beerus has been asleep. Like, he was asleep after Goku and Bulma were alive. So I don't know. They need to work on that. Everyone is celebrating Bulma's birthday back on Earth, and I just love the sense of family and closeness from the series. You know, they always earn a friend from each arc. And after hearing about Goku defeating Frieza, Beerus and Whis travel to King Kai's planet. King Kai has Goku hide, but Beerus knows he's there. And then we get a fight between Goku and Beerus, and I honestly think this was the best fight in the movie. Goku goes through all of his transformations, and then he turns into Super Saiyan 3, because he's like, first I'll go Super Saiyan, then I'll go Super Saiyan 2, and it doesn't even look like there's a difference. There is a difference between Super Saiyan 1 and 2, but it's so subtle, like, you don't really notice it. I always thought it was like a little hair curl thing at the top. I think it is that, though, and the hair is like more spiky. And then he goes Super Saiyan 3, and Goku just gets beat down like nothing. Like, he even punches a hole through King Kai's planet. And Beerus is also the explanation for why King Kai's planet is so small, because apparently he like blew it up or something. So I was talking about how Beerus was the reason why King Kai's planet was so small, because he destroyed it or something. And Beerus is just dodging the entire time, and I think he hits Goku twice, maybe. One with the flick of the finger and the other to knock him out completely. I thought it was cool. But it was like, we're watching Goku get smacked around. Like, how strong is this enemy? And it's like a similar problem I had with Hunter x Hunter. It's like, the enemies are so strong. Like, how are you supposed to defeat them? And it's going to be some weird reason. I mean, Dragon Ball is a mainly fighting series, and Dragon Ball doesn't get that complicated. So I'm sure Goku and his friends or whatever, they'll get like power-ups. Basically, they're not going to like use some different mean to like some different like way to take out the enemy or anything like that. So I don't know if I wanted to add anything else onto that. Let me see about like them being close. About the fight. Nope, nothing to add to that. So King Kai quickly warns Vegeta as Whis and Beerus head to planet Earth, and even though I like the togetherness of Dragon Ball, I'm always surprised at how Vegeta became an ally, because he killed so many people. And, you know, like, we see him, he killed most of the Z fighters, and he also killed a lot of Namekians, but I mean, all those people were brought back to life, but still. And Beerus and Whis arrive on Earth, and Vegeta basically tries to accommodate them so nothing goes wrong, and Beerus destroys the planet. And in another attempt to add Beerus to the Dragon Ball series, there's a flashback of him eating at Planet Vegeta, and Vegeta's father groveling to Beerus. Quite a bit of the movie is about the birthday party, and we get a little bit with Pilaf and his group, who have become kids over a wish, and they're looking for the Dragon Balls again, which are a prize for Bulma's birthday. And then Trunks gets a little plot about him and Mai, and it's not really that important. Or is it May? I'm sorry, I read Volume 1 of Dragon Ball. I'm gonna talk about that too. But it was kind of funny when Mai or May had her gun to Trunks' head, and no one cared. And then Gohan tells her to shoot him, and he deflects the bullets with ease, and one of them hits Beerus in the forehead. And then the icing on the cake is when Beerus asks Boo for some pudding, and Boo licks all of the pudding, and then he eats it, and Beerus just flips out. And you see, I've only seen Dragon Ball Z Kai up until the Cell Saga, you know, the end of the Cell Saga. And of course, I've seen some of the Boo Saga from Dragon Ball Z as a kid, but I'm waiting for the dub of Dragon Ball Z Kai to finish so I can watch it properly. I don't know if it's going to come back on TV. I mean, it's on Toonami now, but it's going to take a while to get to the Boo Saga, at least like 2 or 3 years. So I might just watch it online or buy it. And I've only read Volume 1 of Dragon Ball. It's kind of silly, and I didn't really want to keep going. I will finish it eventually, but it's not like at the top of my list. And this is the type of material that I was talking about. You know, I feel like there was a shift in the content between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Like, DBZ is funny, and they make jokes during the fights and everything, but they wouldn't do a joke like this. I would say that's kind of the vibe I get from Dragon Ball Z. And they don't really get much time to talk at the party. Like, not all the characters get time to speak properly, so I hope they have more of that in the anime. You know, we have everyone talking and stuff. It's just, we get like the key people talking a little bit. Anyways, everyone gets involved and Beerus takes all of them down. He takes down Boo, Android 18, Tien, Piccolo, Gohan, Vegeta, and Gotenks. All taken out. And this is another problem I had with the movie and really the series overall. It's gotten to the point where Goku can only fight the enemies, and that's a little bit boring. And again, I haven't seen the Boo Saga, but these characters need an upgrade. I'm pretty sure in the Boo Saga they could still fight like a few of them, but we were getting to the point definitely where Yamcha and Tien were pretty much useless. You know, they could no longer fight on the level of the other ones. And even at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, like Yamcha was kind of useless. I think he could have killed the Cybermen, but I mean it blew him up. So yeah, he was useless from like that point on. I think I don't know. I'm going to talk about Tien later. So I would like to leave a few characters strong. So I would say keep Piccolo, Gohan, Vegeta, who is kept strong and a little bit close to Goku's level, Goten, Trunks, and Oob. You know, try to put them on a stronger level. I'm pretty sure Oob will be introduced later and in the anime, like Dragon Ball Super. Like eventually they're gonna have to hit the ending of Dragon Ball Z. Like they're not gonna just keep going and introduce like this huge plot before the end of Dragon Ball Z. That would not be good. I would say eventually go to the end of Dragon Ball Z. Everyone's a little bit stronger or something like that, and they're still fighting the gods or something like that. Maybe this is like a plot that takes years to go on within the series. So yeah, keep those people strong. And if I recall correctly, Tien could have killed Cell, I think, and Vegeta could have also killed Cell. So I don't know, do something different, let them shine, maybe even let them defeat the villain or the main villain or something like that. And I've read that Gohan could have also killed Boo. Or Gohan could have killed Boo, and then Piccolo is stronger than a normal Super Saiyan. You know, he's like a Super Namekian. Also, why wasn't Krillin involved in this big fight? Like, he ran away with the other people. I thought it was stated that Krillin was the strongest human, so I don't know what was up with that. Bulma's drunk, and she's trying to stop Beerus. Beerus slaps her, and then Vegeta just loses it. And apparently, within that moment, he's stronger than Goku's Super Saiyan 3, but Vegeta's only a Super Saiyan at that point. I don't know. And then Goku arrives, and he still has no idea about the Super Saiyan God, but they use the Dragon Balls to summon Shenron, and he tells them that they need 5 Saiyans pure of heart to put their energy into another one. So Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goten try to put their energy into Goku, and even I caught this one. There's 4 people giving to 1. Shenron clearly said 5 people giving their powers to 1, and I was like, they didn't notice this, but they needed another Super Saiyan or another Saiyan to help them out, and it's Pan or Pan's fetus. I don't know, whatever she is right now. And basically the fetus is also giving energy to Goku. Goku turns into a Super Saiyan God. Honestly, I didn't like how he received this power up, since it's becoming part of the story and he just got it too fast. But he has his fight with Beerus, and they're both kind of holding back a little bit, and it's all over the place. It goes from a forest to a canyon and into space. And then there was one part where they were fighting so fast that the water hadn't even dropped yet. That was when they were in the cave, and I like that one. And the power runs out, but Goku is still somehow able to keep up in his base form, but that's because he's absorbed the God power, and he can even use it within his Super Saiyan state, so he doesn't have to go fully into the Super Saiyan God mode. And Beerus doesn't destroy the planet. And then Goku pretty much gives up. It's something different. Excuse me, but I didn't really like it. I didn't really like, oh, Goku's weak now. Like, I understand, like, to expand the Dragon Ball universe, you're probably gonna have to make Goku lose a few times, but it's weird having Goku lose. It feels unnatural. Anyways, Beerus and Whis leave, but they're basically allies with Goku and his friends at this point. Like, that's even more apparent in the Dragon Ball Super manga, which is pretty much after this. Yeah, I think it's after this. Yeah, it's in the manga. It's not in the anime yet. Anyways, once they get back home, Whis knocks Beerus out with ease, and we learn that Goku watched his friends get beat up, which was kind of screwed up. From this movie, we got that there are 12 universes, which expands the Dragon Ball Z universe, and I'm not sure how this will work because we only know a few planets from this universe, I mean, we know about Namek and we know about the planet with the other two Kais. Again, I haven't seen the Buu Saga, so I don't really know all about that. Plus, there are enemies out there stronger than Beerus. And to me, the Super Saiyan God form seems like it's similar to the Spirit Bomb technique because you're getting energy from other people. Now, the next form isn't like that, but I thought it was a good theory at the time that Goku may have to get energy from everyone on Earth or something to transform, or then like, oh, everyone on like other planets or something like that to give Goku energy for him to like continue like transform in these God states. But that's not how it works. The power levels are all over the place. I mean, Whis is stronger than Beerus, but Beerus is the leader. Super Saiyan God isn't good enough to beat Beerus, and Vegeta is stronger when Bulma slapped. That kind of made sense because Krillin was killed, and then Goku. That was when Goku went Super Saiyan the first time. I just don't get why Whis is following Beerus, but he's stronger. I understand that Whis is the master and he's teaching Beerus, but still. Anyways, since the power levels have gotten a little bit funky, they have been turned into simpler numbers. And Akira Toriyama stated that in terms of power, Goku as a Super Saiyan God would be a 6, Beerus would be a 10, and Whis would be a 15. Goku's not that far off, but I still don't like that. Like I want Goku to struggle a little bit. I want to see some progression. I mean, we went from this movie from Goku being knocked around as Super Saiyan 3 to going into Super Saiyan God form and almost getting up there with Beerus. So, again, I just want Goku to get stronger, but I want to see some training or something like that. Because, we had training for Super Saiyan 2. Like Goku and Gohan just kind of stayed in Super Saiyan form, and then eventually, they got stronger. Anyways, guys, this was an alright movie, as I said before. I liked the first fight more than the second one. The second one was a little bit too dynamic, and Dragon Ball is not like that as much in the anime. They went a little crazy with the animation, and they're starting to use 3D more. So tell me what you thought about the movie, and have you seen the next movie, or are you waiting for the dub because the movie's coming out next month? Yeah, next month. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.